Yeah, I really don't know what the hell I was even thinking right here. Also, funny thing actually did happen. I was actually collecting the Revenant after I did the recording. I forgot to turn off the ability and died. Yeah, don't even ask. Merry Christmas, by the way. So I hope you have a fantastic day. Let's get started with this video. Hello and welcome to another JMP video. I'm the host JonNario, and today I will be going over the ability modifier for the Revenant, which is going to be called Speed Spears. And this is going to be one of the 3 ability modifiers for the Revenant. In my own personal opinion, it's going to be the better of all 3 of them, but the Revenant has some pretty interesting one as well. I will be going over Speed Spears, which reads, Spirit Spear no longer slows you. It's very straightforward. It's a very straightforward ability. And in my own personal opinion, it makes the Revenant such a incredibly lazy class, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Like, you will literally see what I mean by a lazy class. It's literally a press one button and just run type of thing. It's really that ridiculous. But yeah, Speed Spears is just going to be, you know, a ability modifier for Spirit Spears, which is just going to be your toggle ability right around here. Normally this ability will slow your movement speed by 62%. I do believe it's going to be the actual percentage, and with this it actually no longer slows you. I'm just going to showcase right here. My movement speed is going to be 103 at base. If I actually do activate Spirit Spears without the ring modifier, I go down to 39. And if I actually do get the ability modifier right about now, my movement speed will remain 103. So once again, 103, press the ability, movement speed remains 103. The ability modifier is pretty much does that. That's literally all it does. It doesn't do anything else. It just, yeah, it's pretty nuts, not gonna lie. Like, it's one of those ability, again, the same reason as something like the overcharge is just one thing, but that one thing just makes a huge difference. With spin to win, there's 2 things, and the 2 things is it makes a huge difference. But this one being just one thing, that it may not sound like a lot, but oh boy, it's a really good. But yeah, it just as a straightforward ability, it pretty much does that. You press the ability, you do not lose any movement speed. And why do I keep saying this is so insane? So first and foremost, this is by far the laziest class in the entire game. I'm literally not pressing any buttons right now. I'm just right now running into enemies, including world bosses, without martial emblem active. And as you probably could tell, yeah, I can literally just maintain movement speed buff without any precaution, and I don't need to just press any other button. I can literally just run like this. I am literally right now not even pressing any other button, not even using F-Flash for martial emblem. I'm literally running into enemies and just getting all of the movement speed buff. This is pretty ridiculous. This is why I mean, like, the laziest class in the entire game. Like, I'm literally just pressing one button, and ever since I pressed that one button, I'm just running around into enemies, healing with both Vampire and Vanquisher, and also healing with the Revenant's passive ability. It's just absolutely ridiculous to think about. Like, I'm not it's just so stupid. I'm not even pressing any buttons. I'm just literally running into enemies. Like, what the hell? This ability modifier is absolutely ridiculous, and it's even more ridiculous in Dells. In Dells, you literally do this. All Dells. You don't even need to activate Path Painter, and you literally can just go from the early to the boss while completing the objective in around a minute. And I'm not even exaggerating when I say that. Like, you literally can do that in like around a minute. And if you can use this martial emblem, like, look at that. It's so stupid. But yeah, it is insanely powerful for the sole reason that it is also only on the Revenant. The Revenant is the only character that can technically pull this off. Well, technically every single character with Vampire and Vanquisher can pull this off, but the Revenant is one of those characters that has so many lifesteal and fits perfectly with this character, because this character's Spirit Spears, normally it takes around 3% of their maximum health every single second, or 2 times per second, I don't remember, but it actually just takes health from you, a percentage health every single time. And here's the thing with that ability, like, if you don't have Vampire and Vanquisher with any other characters, imagine just taking around 3 to 5% of your maximum health. That would be brutal. But the thing is, with the Revenant heals 5% of the damage that you do as health. And if you do have Vampire and Vanquisher, that's 10% of the damage that you do is recovered as health. And considering that this ability does 2.5 times damage multiplier, upwards of 2 times per second, and especially if you do run into enemies, sometimes it will just register both hits at once. It is just going to be an immediate one shot literally to all enemies around it, and seeing that it's just an immediate 5 times damage multiplier, as you're seeing right here, literally happens every single time. Because normally at 2.5 times damage with my stats on the Revenant, it doesn't one-shot regular enemies. But considering the properties on, Spirit Spears, you can actually just do 2 lines of damage instead of 1. And sometimes it will do 3 lines of damage. It's just ridiculous. But yeah, that's essentially what makes it so good for the Revenant, because you can just go ahead and just run right into enemies, and the enemies will generally just die immediately. You will heal literally all of your health back because of Revenant's passive, and if you do have Preparing Vanquisher, that's another thing. And those two things combined with a character that only is generally not losing any movement speed, because that's literally what I'm doing. I'm literally just running into enemies, not losing any movement speed, just killing all enemies that I see, healing all of my health 100% of the time. And that just generally just makes the character so easy to use. Normally the Revenant is pretty easy to use, but with this it's literally a breeze, and it just makes the Revenant so good because alongside all of that, if you do have trouble maintaining maximum health, you technically have a 75-second to life. So if you do die, you're going to restore 50% of your health, and not only that you restore 50% of your health, you generally, that cooldown is only 75 seconds. So after 75 seconds, that's it. You can generally just die once again and get the 75-second cooldown to start in the second life. And to top it all off, that ability on its own gives you 50% bonus physical damage, so it helps you in one-shotting and killing all enemies faster. So maintaining heal is just going to be that much greater. And literally look at this just monstrosity of a character just literally running into enemies. It's not going to make the character top tier in dungeon grinding or in delves, but it's definitely going to make the character one of the most consistent characters in the entire game. Probably might even be the most consistent character in the entire game right now, because yeah, you can literally just do this even at early to mid game, and literally what I'm doing right here, you can do it like early mid game, because all of the things regarding the Revenant is that the Revenant is technically a slow, high damaging character. Seeing a slow, high damaging character, it means one of the first character to one shot. It means that it's good at the early game because it's the first character that will start just killing enemies really fast. And combine all of that with the consistency of this ability right here, and also Bulwark Bash dealing 9.5, also the basic attack dealing 3.9. And also to the fact that ultimate ability still exists and pulls all enemies around it, doing 1.85 4 times per second. It makes the character such a really good overall character that just works perfectly any portion of the game, and combining with this ability modifier Speed Spears just makes it even greater. I will be just showcasing how you can just use this character for delves, and let me just go ahead and just go right here. You can literally just run right through enemies and just kill them off one shot, essentially, and that's just honestly so brilliant, so strong. It's even going to be even apparent even in delves, because in delves you can literally just do this and activate Path Painter and just keep running forward. The only problem with Path Painter is just going to be that Path Painter is going to deactivate your Spirit Spears, but Spirit Spears has a really short cooldown anyway, so it doesn't really matter. By the time that you are capable of activating Path Painter again, your cooldown should be more than ready. So I will be going into a depth of 111 so you can actually see how you can actually just use this character for low delving, and it's going to be really good for the early game for people that do not have a Path Painter, because this character is just generally just kill all enemies. Like I just mentioned, you can get towards the boss, complete the objective in around a minute and a half without Path Painter, and it literally all boils down to this. You literally can just run like this and just kill all enemies in your path. I'm not even going to use Path Painter, and I'm not even going to use Flash during this whole delves, and you are going to see that I started off around 7 minutes and 10 seconds during this delves in general, and I'm only going to be doing is this: running through enemies, just killing them one shot with the Speed Spears without Path Painter. And yeah, it's just going to generally just make the character so unbelievably great. I might just die, to be honest, but Let me just keep trying it on, and this is without that Divine Vial, because with that Divine Vial you can easily just heal out everything that you see right here. So technically it's been around a minute on a 99 kill objective, and only pressing one button on spawn, and not even using Path Painter to move around really quickly. On other objectives like Monolith, you can literally just complete it in around a minute, and that's not even a big deal. Like, you can literally just do that super quickly with the character. And keep all of this in mind, like I technically just died right now. Okay, so I am completely just healed up 100% of the time, and just going to be like this, and I'm going to die. Yeah, I know. So that would have been one flask right there. Bro, I knew I was going to die anyways, because obviously I wasn't able to maintain the maximum health. There weren't so many enemies. But when there's a lot of enemies, you heal up like crazy. But even still, like, it generally doesn't even matter. If you can only just use one flask by only pressing one ability and literally running into enemies without the need of using Path Painter, that's just extremely good. This objective was probably one of the worst objectives to even try it on, because the objective is a lot of enemies, and the enemies are just very scattered around. So normally this objective would take a while. But even still, like, I already completed the objective without Path Painter, got into boss in around, let's just say around 3 minutes. And just killing the boss is just going to be really fast because the Revenant has high DPS. And if we move on to the next objective, let's just hope the next objective is going to be somewhat that you can complete it somewhat fast, so you can actually just see. Oh, come on, 86 enemies? Okay. Let me see if I can just do it right there. Let me just use Path Painter this time around. So I will just be running around just killing all enemies that is in my path, so I can just use Path Painter and just kill them much quickly. This is going to be with Path Painter and using Trail and all of those movement speed buff available, and then just it's going to be like this all the time. It's so fun, so good, so strong with this character. And yeah, I'm just going to say that, like, if you are just interested in using the Revenant is already a pretty underrated character, believe it or not. Not only a pretty underrated character in a lot of people's eyes, a lot of people know that it's strong, but people don't realize how good this character really is. If you combine all of this with literally a class that all you gotta do is just press one button type of thing, and to top it all out, not only press a button, it's still going to remain effective at any portion of the game. That's really a good recipe for a good character. Let's hope after I kill this boss, I actually am capable of actually getting a good objective. I don't know how much the time was on that one, but either way, that doesn't generally matter a whole lot. But if I get something like Monolith, that would be really, really nice. So let's just see what objective I actually do get now. Empty, probably the worst objective imaginable. But yeah, I mean, you can just use this to empty all of the rooms like crazy, so it generally doesn't matter as much. You can empty rooms really quickly with this character, like run into every single enemy that you see, activate Vacuumatic if you want, activate Path Painter and all of that stuff. Like, you don't even need to do a lot of input. But yeah, no Monolith unfortunately, so let's just see what else I can get. Like, look at this. This is what you can generally do on actually good rooms. Just look at the enemy. You don't even need to press anything. You just look at the enemy and the enemy will die. And yeah, so it's just so good, so effective, while being so easy to use without needing a lot of stats. And yeah, you generally just run around right here. I'm already almost in my last objective, well, my last room right here. And the thing is with this is just saying that this is literally my last room. I missed an enemy in the last room right there, and the Trove is glitched out right now. But saying right here, I was able to complete this objective in around a minute. That's pretty good rates on those. Let me just tell you, considering that the character, you are generally not doing anything, and yeah, you will be running really, really quickly, just moving like this, running at well over 300 movement speed with this character, and being able to maintain movement speed buff in around a minute to 2 minutes without doing a lot of inputs. And yeah, by the time that you do reach the boss, it has high DPS and I will just kill. I'm going to kill this Whipping Prophet and call it a day. But yeah, that's essentially going to be Speed Spears in a nutshell. Just press one button and run. literally the laziest class in the entire game. You don't even need to do anything in order to actually just make this character work. It's literally just a press one button and run, and you will be effective, which is crazy to think about. And yeah, that's going to be everything for me for today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing as always. As always, let me know your thoughts and opinions on the Revenant Speed Spears. I'm interested to see what people think about the Revenant Speed Spears. On the next episodes, I will be going over the need for speed on the Lunar Lancer. That ability modifier, it is going to be absolutely ridiculous. I have used it, I've already recorded my first reactions and everything. No, that is just absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, that's going to be everything for me. Thank you once again for watching, and I hope to see you guys next time. Leave a like, subscribe, or road to 4K subscribers. And like always, take care and keep on hunting. See ya.